Welcome back to the News at 10. African women have been charged to get more involved in issues that will move the continent forward. This was the topic of discussion for various speakers at an event aimed at highlighting the role of women in emerging African democracies. They were tasked to be the change that they want to see. Our correspondent, Ogechukwu Osi, reports.
It's a gathering of women determined to change Africa for the better. But for that to be a reality, they believe that women have to be carried along in decision and policy making on the continent, and that formed the basis for the discussion at this event.
For good governance to take place, women ought to participate fully in the democratization process. They need not just to be consulted, but should take an active role in the decision-making process at all levels and in all sectors.
One after the other, different speakers from Nigeria and Kenya, touching on education, health, politics, finance and security, threw more light on the theme, the role of women in emerging African democracies, as well as inspire the beginning of a whole new era.
We must position ourselves in places where our voices are going to be heard and where our voices challenge the systems and challenge the thinking. And the only way that this can happen is through education. With health, whether little or in quantum, health is wealth, and from the smallest nation, if our women are well, we will be a wealthier nation.
More worrisome for them is insecurity in northern Nigeria and some African countries, and how women have become an endangered species, using the abduction of Chibok girls as an example.
This is the second month now, and the thing is, there's no idea where they are. No idea whatsoever. You know, everybody's heart bleeds, and all you can do is pray and hope that we'll get those girls back. Otherwise, the protest must continue. Women must stay together and ensure that those girls come back safe and sound.
There's an attack on the people. We must respond. We must defend them. We must stand with them. And we must let them know that we're not reducing them to just Muslim or Christian or Kanuri or Bubra or all the different ethnic groups there, that we recognize their humanity. And as Nigerians, we're going to work with them.
In all these discussions, they believe that women supporting one another is very key.
Even if you are not interested in joining the political struggle or working hand with the government, are you at least supporting the women who do? Are you contributing to their campaigns? Are you doing that? Food for thought.
They have spoken, and it's been passed on to women on the continent to take their destiny in their own hands. Ogechukwu was reporting for Channels Television News.
Good evening. Welcome to Business News on the News at 10. I am Adeshewa Josh. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank this week maintained a tight monetary policy stance, and the decision was a widely anticipated one, partly because the present CBN administration is just a caretaker one. In this report, our business correspondent Chimize Obiwagu looks at some of the implications of the decision.
It's the last Monetary Policy Committee that will be chaired by Dr. Sarah Alade as the acting CBN governor. The committee unanimously left the benchmark interest rate unchanged at 12%, with a corridor of plus or minus 200 basis points. It also left the cash reserve requirement both for public and private sector deposits unchanged at 75% and 15% each.
One must give credit to the acting governor as a pilot flying through turbulence and was able to keep things steady until handing over to the new captain.
Be that as it may, many believe the monetary policy is yet to be structured in such a way that it would create jobs and forge inclusive growth.
If you have the kind of interest rate regime that we have, which is going to, persist with the recent outcome of the Monetary Policy Committee meeting, then there's no way indigenous enterprises can actually make progress in creating jobs.
Meanwhile, in recent times, the Naira has remained under pressure The foreign reserve has dropped significantly and money supply has increased. For most economists, there is a disconnection between the nominal anchor, which is the MPR, and the market.
As long as money supply continues to grow, there's a transmission time between when money supply grows and when the impact is on prices. We are going to see that happen shortly. So the new governor comes in on the 2nd of June. He has his work cut out for him. This will be a test on leadership and a test on understanding of market dynamics.
We require that he should look again at the monetary policy stance, because tight monetary policy cannot help our economy at this time.
As the election year draws closer, one of the variables the incoming CBN governor may have to consider is what some economists call the election spending cycle.
The president is yet to assent to the budget of 2014. If he assents to it, it is immediately followed by what we call the AIEs. This is the authority to incur expenditure, both on the capital and some of it on the recurrent. So once that is done, you can assume that of the 4-point-something trillion naira budget, a certain amount of it is going to be approved immediately for initial disbursement. You add that disbursement to the fact you already have what we call an extended long position in the market. The markets have been opening at about 600, 700 billion naira long for the past 2 months. That is significant. It brings additional pressure to bear on the currency. It also brings additional pressure to bear on inflation.
Well, the president has just assented to the 2014 budget. However, addressing some of these fundamental issues may be what the new CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, may have to deal with when he resumes work on the 2nd of June. And how he does that will chart a new course for monetary policy in Nigeria. Chimezie Obiwagu, Channels Television.
Over 1,000 children across Lagos were today treated to fun and excitement for being loyal customers of Sterling Bank. The children, most of whom are customers of the bank, were hosted to a party organized by the bank in appreciation of their loyalty.
From over 50 schools around Lagos, these children gather at the Maureen Okunla Park for a grand party put together by Sterling Bank, who says children do not deserve to be treated as kings, especially being customers of Sterling Bank. Games, talent hunt, fashion parade, and several engaging activities kept the fun going.
Is for us to say thank you to our customers that are children. We have had them, they've been so loyal for a very long time, and we think that it is just fair, it is just right for us to say thank you to them.
Besides the fun, the bank is using the platform to educate parents on its One Education initiative aimed at encouraging long-term investment in children by creating personal savings for them.
We had started financial literacy in different schools already. We developed 2 books, My Little Money Book and Funds. My Little Money Book is for the primary school and Funds is for the secondary school. It all teaches them how to be financially literate. And now, it doesn't end at that. We also have financial planning forums for parents and teachers. So it goes round the whole education value chain. So as we teach the children how to be financially responsible, the parents who are involved, they're definitely not left out. The loyalty reward doesn't end with children alone. But right now, it's the focus for children.
The party will also prepare the children ahead of the talent hunt competition coming up in June 2014.
And that's business news this hour. The news at 10 continues shortly.
The 10th edition of the African Movie Academy Awards is underway in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa state capital, Nigeria. A galaxy of celebrities and stars of the African movie industry are all in attendance at the event. The organizers are using the event to present the rich cultural heritage of the state to encourage the tourism and investment opportunities and promote that in the state.
We're here live at the Dr. Gabriel Okara Cultural Center in Yenagoa, the capital of Bayelsa State, and it's the venue of the 10th African Movie Academy Awards. And right now we are being joined by, well, the host of the event, the Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, retired Rear Admiral Borebioga Jonah. Thanks so much for joining us, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much.
Bayelsa State has been hosting AMA for the past 10 editions, except probably one. Now, how has the state been able to leverage on this almost exclusive hosting rights?
Thank you very much. We have a state, we had a state that was quite young. And most of the things that go with city life weren't here. The glamour, the entertainment industry was quite at infancy. So we felt we needed something to leverage on to bring our state to limelight. And one of the opportunities created for us was the hosting right for this AMA. So we took the advantage, took on it, and since then we're having the entire world been focused on Bayelsa State. For 10 years now, the movie industry, you know, is where you can reach out to a lot of people. So the state had been known by a lot of people because of this. You can see live television around the world. So we have actually benefited from it.
Now, you've brought the rest of Africa, as far as the movie industry is concerned, to Yenagoa, the state capital, to wit Bayelsa State. Now, what exactly is the intent and purpose of bringing them here? What exactly do you want to show by bringing the rest of Africa here?
First, you know, one of the things you want to know is you want to have is network with people around the world. As you see, the artists here, they are businessmen here as well. We need to network. The aim is a strong economy. We want a strong economy here. And we can get it through tourism and industries that will be established here, through the various contacts that we're trying to establish. We are basically a state that depends on oil. We are thinking towards Bayelsa beyond oil, and which are the avenues that are readily available. One is tourism, and the movie industry is actually tourism. It attracts tourists to the place, and when the tourists go, they spend more. If you know, Nigeria, we don't actually indulge in internal tourism, where our tourists during summer travel to Europe, they come back. But a lot of opportunities in this country that we are not aware of. And this is an opportunity for them to know what we can actually showcase. Subsequent years, maybe in addition to this, we may have to add a certain festival to it so that those that are coming can also see the culture aspect of it. We are planning to have the yearly boat regatta because we are basically an aquatic state. Our environment is water. We have the longest coastline. So we must exploit that environment to our advantage, and water sports and all the rest that we are going to do. We're also having historical sites that people need to see, historical sites dotted all over the state. There are a lot of reserve areas that we can actually get people to go and invest in and attract for tourists to come.
Well, thank you very much, and we wish you a happy hosting of the AMA Awards, even as you continue. All right. That was the Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, His Excellency retired Rear Admiral Borebioga Jonah, joining us live on the news at 10. It's back to you, studio, even as the 10th AMA Awards continue.
And please stay tuned to Channels Television at the end of the news at 10 tonight for more live coverage from Channels Television of the African Movie Academy Awards. We're going to take a break. Still ahead on the news at 10. Quarterfinalists emerge at the Channels National Kids Cup. That's in a moment. On Sports News, do stay with us.